Not only that, but our taxes. I have never mixed filing my taxes 1 year for JMMI. But because all this persecution kept going on and online, they started calling even the people we had doing our taxes of a certain company, and the owner of that company went against the person who was doing it and told him to stop. If he didn't, he would fire him. And so our taxes dropped on the ground for some time. We got somebody else. But the other thing was those that were doing our taxes wasn't doing them right. They didn't have understanding of Christian knowledge. Now we got those people. But we had to go through a process because everybody, for the last 3 years, everybody who we would get, this racist got to them and would make them drop the whole thing. And it was other things. Like, for instance, when we found out we didn't have the right company that knew ministry like they should, was making mistakes, I did not want to present to the IRS. And I want the government to know that, them trying to revoke our 501c3 for JMMI. Now, we have it for KOGGC, the church. So y'all don't have nothing to worry about. You can get your tax deductible. But I'm telling you what's happened. It ain't that we don't like filing our taxes, because I never miss up until that point. Never. But I wanted it to be done with integrity. When I found out this company we had didn't know really what they were doing fully, we got somebody else. Then through COVID, all kind of stuff happened. And so we went through this to where, the government thought in JMMI, we just wasn't even filing our 990s anymore. But that ain't true. I wanted to do it with integrity. I wanted to find the right company. And then through the persecution, they was just dropping us. So, I had to figure out a way, or through the persecution, it was just one person just quit. During COVID, a lot of people were quitting their jobs. So they're in the middle of doing our thing and they just quit. But I want you to know your finances is secure, because when you give, you can still get a tax write-off. But I'm just telling you the warfare, even them trying to make it look like we ain't filing our taxes. That's not true. We want to do it right. I'm not going to lie. I've never lied to the government. My dad used to have his own income tax business. His own income tax business. So I know what it means when Jesus said, pay to Caesar what belonged to Caesar's and pay to God what belonged to him. I have never cheated the government. I have never tried to. And I want the IRS to hear that, because they hear all this other junk out here against me and these people filing false reports and evil things. I want you to know the truth from my lips, what is taking place. We have a racist that has been pursuing us, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you a clip real quick about the persecution before we go into the lake. I got 2 more properties to show you. But before that happens, you need to hear the persecution that has happened. You need to understand what's taking place. The great persecution I've had to go through, and they've been trying to affect our money. But this is the thing. When they got us kicked out of every place, God was so good. God was so good. I want you to hear this. God was so good that he put it on your heart during COVID to just start giving large sums of money. You didn't even know why, but you just started giving, and our finances went up. And so now, instead of getting kicked out, I had to buy mansions that had enough space for the people until we could build to this point to buy a campus. You see how I built the money? We didn't have all the money at first, but I did wise investments with buying houses for the students. That now the bank started looking at us favorably and said, wow, they have a lot of finances and assets. There's no way they can run away with our money, like people saying. We're still going through some persecution, but I'm telling you what's happening. And so we started buying mansions to house the students until we could build enough assets and wealth to buy our own campus. And that's why I say this is a breakthrough. This is a breakthrough campus.